Namaste. So we're gonna do this in the normal way I've been doing it, and I'm gonna use the phone to go live with YouTube, and we're gonna use the laptop to go live with Facebook. So the title I gave today's video on both of these is, well, on Facebook I called it to be Daily Bread, and on YouTube I differentiated and called it Today's Daily Bread. So we're gonna get ready. I'm trying to get my phone to stay on my keyboard without acting retarded, so I'm just going to unplug it. Make sure that this is gonna be a rather short video. It's gonna be a rather short video because battery ain't super high on this. Daily Bread. First off, I want to start this off and I want to put some thoughts out here. Weigh in. Maybe this will help people get some discernment about themselves. It's actually kind of interesting. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Hold on, let me pull up a Google search real quick. Hold on. Alright. Hey, hold on real quick. Luke 18:10-15. Alright, hold on. Hold on real quick. So, and actually, hold on, because I'm actually going to pull up, a tab so I can actually pull this up as we're reading this so we can look at the words ourselves. Luke 18:10-14. Alright, so we're going to start this. We're going to start this off. Actually, for this one, I'm going to use the Bible right here because it's in my face. So, Luke, what was it? Hold on. So we're going to start this out and we're going to go to Luke chapter 18, verses 10-14. Alright. And it's actually a parable. This right here is going to be a parable. We're going to come in, we're going to start this out with a parable. Two men went up to the temple to pray. The one a Pharisee, the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. I fast twice in the week, I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself should be exalted. Now, before we dive into this, I'm actually going to go a little bit farther in. We're going to go to Luke, the 20th chapter, the 46th and the 47th verses. And these are words in red in the Bible. If you look it up, these are ascribed to be the words of the Messiah. Beware of the scribes, which desire to walk in law robes, and love greetings in the markets, and the highest seats in the synagogue, and the chief rooms at feast, which devour widows' houses, and for a shew make long prayers. The same shall receive greater damnation. Now, we're going to go one more verse real quick before I get to diving in. We're going to go to Matthew, and we're going to go to chapter 6, the 5th verse. Actually, you know what? We're going to actually go with chapter 6, and we're going to actually back this up and start with the first verse. Alright, let's go ahead and start with the first verse here. Take heed that ye do not do not your alms before men, to be seen of them, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou dost alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. Thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. Now, if you read further down, this is like where it gives us the Lord prayers, but it tells us to secret ourselves in a closet. All right, so let's digest what they're talking about here, because really this is some allegorical saying and some symbolism to it, but it's some blatantly plain symbolism. So we see the color of my skin, we can guess the type of churches, I've actually attended a variety of churches in my youth, but we can guess, yes, I've got experience in the predominantly African American churches. And all these churches that make all this big show about prayer. A matter of fact, that was part of what my trepidation was about attending my brother's birthday party this weekend, knowing that my father and them were hosting at a church and knowing how they worship. It's really, really hard attending church services and such, when their form of worship and their doctrine conflicts with what I feel inside personally. And I think that was one of the biggest original surprises with what happened this weekend with me and my brother. Finding myself, me personally, I've comprehended and digested a lot of information about energy. You want to see some more occult knowledge and how this shit really works and is dubbed subliminally? Last night's Super Bowl halftime show. Now peep this out. Out of all the people that they could have picked to do the Super Bowl halftime show, they picked Justin Timberlake. He gives decent music. I'll give him that. For a musical genre, he's a decent artist. Now, I'm going to give you some things that a lot of people probably didn't catch on to. First off, and you can get on YouTube and see the performance. First off, pay attention to the cubes that were around him while he was doing his performance. They were really, really, it seemed to really, really give the feel of cymatics, the creation with sound. Look at the lights, how they interacted with the cube while he was giving his performance. Last night, I didn't watch the performance. I observed and analyzed it and looked for the keys and the clues, and I seen a lot. So another thing I noticed, the crowd was being whipped into a frenzy. There was an air, wow, I said deer, my bad, word slip. There was an air of desperation about Justin Timberlake's performance last night. Now, they used his older material to whip the crowd into an emotional state. Now I'm going to show you how they channeled that energy. Peep this out. This is my phone right here. Alright, my phone. Last night, during the performance, he had everybody get their phones with their screens lit up and hold them up like this. And then while they were holding up the phones, the crowd started to sing part of the song. See, what you got to do, though, is you got to take a complete look at this situation. And you got to have an over, an under, and an understanding about how the occult mechanisms work. Peep this out. Big occult rituals are held every Catholic Mass. When these people lead these prayers and they have the congregation recite the prayers with them, that's an incantation, however you pronounce it. It's a magical spell. It is a magical freaking spell. They're doing incantations and they're siphoning energy and funneling it to this deity that they worship, that they've given everybody a misrepresentation of what it stands for. You think that religion's all peachy keen, huh? You think that religion's all peachy keen. Well, let me pull something else up on this. BibleHub.com. You can pull up verses all on your own. BibleHub.com. And this is a wonderful site because not only does it give you the various translations of the Bible, but you've got parallels, you've got the interlinear, you've got the lexicon, and you've got Strong's Concordance. So you've got all the tools to dig in here and find out what this actually meant. Not what we interpret it to mean today. What were they trying to say in their time with their language? What were they trying to project with their language? Because see, we didn't forget about some things real quick. We didn't forget about what the purpose is of writing something in a freaking book. If it's written in a book, it's meant to convey knowledge throughout time. Throughout. So what we're writing in books right now is meant to preserve the knowledge and our understanding that we have right now for future generations. But it ain't, I mean, one part of it is future generations expanded upon it. But to get to the point of expansion and correcting it and getting all the way together with it, first them future generations have to understand what we meant when we wrote it. So we have to understand what they meant when they wrote this book. When they wrote the Quran, what did they mean? When they wrote the Sumerian text, what did they mean? Not what do we want it to mean, or what, I mean, do we want to twist it to mean? What were they saying? I seem to be bumping my head a lot with people. You know what I mean? The stuff I'm saying, it don't fit in the doctrines. It don't fit in the people's ideas of things. Well, let me give you a tip secret. First off, I'm not going to say I'm all the way right, because I'm human. I make mistakes. All right? But I honestly feel that I'm doing more of digging for what they meant with their words instead of trying to make it mean what we appear it to mean. See, there's a difference. There's a difference. You want to see the difference? I'm about to show you the difference. Matter of fact, the more I talk about this, I can feel emotion coming through me because it actually brings emotion to me. It angers me to see how we've been manipulated like this. It angers me with a passion. Do you know Saturday while I'm sitting here bawling with a baby as I'm telling my dad other things and stuff, I could just feel anger coming into me because I was running into the dogmas and running into the steel walls. And that angers me. It angers me because I see that people have given away their divinity, their sovereignty, and their power. I see how this is being used and how it's being used to subjugate and subdue humanity. What more? I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to start getting people's attention, but I'm there. Cause this, man, watch this. So peep this out. All right, this is something I really, honestly, am hesitant to even touch upon, to be honest, because I feel like down the time, what's about to happen here is what I'm about to speak on this subject is about to get taken and twisted, and people are going to try and contort the facts. All right? What people are going to do is try and make my point about the race of the man named that they ascribe the name Jesus to. What I'm doing is showing you a difference between the words in this book that they wrote and the doctrines that are preached. All right? Now, due to the difference in analyzing what I came across, I have no conclusion in my mind but to conclude that Jesus, the person that they named Jesus, that character, because the letter J didn't even exist back then, but that person that this story is centered around, which is also borrowed from other cultures and other texts, this was a person of a darker skin color. See, there's a reason why racism is prevalent in this world. It's a reason why racism has been prevalent with our ancestors. It's a reason why racism keeps appearing and keeps appearing. It might change its form a little bit, but it's still the same thing, a wall of division. You know what I mean? Racism based on sex, so sexism. Racism based on religious creed. Racism is racism regardless. Division is division. I don't care what title you put on it, what way you spin it, division is division. So now, to break down this line, start busting down and chopping away at these lines of division, I'm about to dive into their material and I'm going to use it to expose them. So let's get here. Acts, the 10th chapter. And we're going to actually start with the 34th verse. The 34th verse. You know what I'm saying? Hold on real quick. I'm in the King James Bible right here. Flip the top lock. Flip that lock, Miklo. Yep, flip the lock. Hold on real quick, y'all. I gotta go lock my door real quick. Yep, just like that. Push it up. Flip the lock like that, little man. Hey. I'm watching my best friend's son for a minute. It'll be while my wife and his mom ran to the store and stuff, and the door kept blowing open because they left it unlocked. Alright. So peep this out. Acts 10, starting with verse 34. Alright? And what we're going to do is we're going to go and start it out right now. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, "Of a truth, I perceive that God is not a respecter of persons, But in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. The word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ, he is Lord of all. That word I say, ye know, which was published throughout all Judea, and began from Galilee after the baptism which John preached, how God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and with power, and went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for God was with him. We are witnesses of the things which he did both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. Now, I showed my dad this verse last night. What my dad did was hit me with some Stockholm syndrome shit. Oh, well, the wording doesn't say he hung from a tree. It says they hung him on a tree. So he tried to make the tree a metaphoric version of the cross. Listen to me. Listen to me and listen to me, man. This is where discernment's going to come in. This is where discernment is going to come in. See, what happens is people get caught up in the fact that, you know what I mean, it appears that Jesus was a melanated person. People get caught up in the fact that, you know what I mean, the Messiah was of a darker skin complexion. So what they try to do is they try to make it a race issue. They try to make it like because the Messiah was of a darker skin complexion, that the Messiah was only for the dark-skinned people. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not the answer. That is not the truth. Let's go back into what the word itself says. Remember, this is the church's word. This is the book that they swear on. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. But in every, I'll say it again, but in every nation that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. They telling you right there that the actual God of creation, the God that created our souls, he don't give a damn what skin color you are. He don't give a shit what religion you follow. He don't give a shit if you a man, if you a woman. He don't give a shit if you're older, if you're young, if you're crippled, if you're not crippled. That God loves you. But what you got to understand is there's been false gods put in place as well. Gods that ascribed themselves to be the creator, and they wasn't the ultimate creator. What they did was manipulated what was already there.
You want me to heat it up for you or no?
Now, to understand what I mean by manipulating what was already there, the God that's described as Jehovah, the bigoted gods of the Old Testament that told them to kill people that wasn't of their, of their creed or their nationality, the God that told them to go in and kill women and children, that's a false God. You know how he's a false God? Because he didn't create the soul, but he hoodwinked mankind into believing he created the soul. What did he create? He manipulated atoms, genetic manipulation, the sea of subatomic realm. They manipulated the mind and the body and created that shit. The soul fuses the mind and body. It brings the three together. Now, I just learned about a fourth part, but we're going to leave that alone right now because that's a little bit more than people are going to be ready for. But we're going to go with the three parts right now. The three parts, the mind, the body, and the soul. See, you are the soul. I am the soul. We are the souls. We identify as the body. We identify as a damn body. So the entity that created this body feels like he owns us. And we're sitting here letting him get this shit off. I told y'all, ain't no more of it. I told y'all I ain't holding back. I told y'all I ain't holding back. Now, for those of you who interact with me and know me, you know when it's in the zone. Because otherwise, I get to stumbling over my words and I find a hard time talking. Ain't none of that. This straight from right here. This straight from right here. That's what that blood over intent was for. Ain't no more of that. Ain't no more of that. I'm not sovereign to no. I'm claiming sovereignty. I'm not bowing to nobody. Now, what I will do is I'll allow somebody to work through me for a higher purpose, a benevolent purpose. I'm all for that. For furthering humanity, I'm all for putting in work like that. But I gotta figure out what my soul is. I can give you all these technical terms and scientific answers, but I'm still searching for the experience of my soul. But guess what? I know I'm on the right track. You know how I know I'm on the right track? For over a year now, I've been working with meditation, on and off. More off than on, to be truthfully. Lately, I've started going hard with it on. I'll be honest, lately I've picked it up.
Look at
For the past year, though, let me give y'all an insight on something. See, why I stayed so hard with meditation is because when I lay there and I meditate, I can feel it. I can feel my legs start to tingling. Like, it's weird. It's almost like a real soft electrical current. I would get to the point where I could feel these energetic pulses, like with my eyes closed, going to like right here. But it wouldn't go. It would just be like right there, and it would be so uncomfortable. It would be forcing me to open my eyes back up. You see, there was still more I had to learn. Recently, somebody taught me about grounding. So I decided last night to try to ground. For the first time in this year I've been meditating, last night, not only did I ground successfully, but I actually got to a point where that energy, I just was pushing it here and I just felt it gather here and then just do like this and dissipate some. Like, not dissipate, but like flow. Now, I didn't get much farther past that, but it's progress. Rome wasn't built in one day. I'm not going to learn how to meditate in one day. I'm not going to learn what my soul is in one day. I'm not going to learn in 1 week. It's going to take me a while. But guess what? Something that I couldn't do a week ago, I just did last night. So that shows me where my path is. It shows me that my discernment is correct. It shows me all the way my discernment is correct. We sitting around here on this damn world, we fighting one another. We fighting over religious differences, over who we believe God is, who we believe, you know what I mean, over religious morals. We're fighting each other over fucking money. Give me some money. Give me some damn money. Hold on. Hold on. You see this shit. A $10 bill. I got a $10 fucking bill here, right? When did we sell our dignity and our basic humanity for this shit? This shit. This is worthless. I can go take a shit right now and wipe my ass with this. You know what I mean? But we trade this off. So peep this out. Money. We work jobs. We do all this shit to earn this, right? To give it right back away. You earn it and you give it right back away. Do you see the manipulation of energy yet, people? Are we seeing this shit yet? Matter of fact, this shit right here is what's paying for this laptop right here. It's what's paying for this phone right here. It's what's paying for me to use this fucking charger right here to charge my phone. Or this charger connected to my laptop. This light right here. It's what pays for that. My printer. It's what pays to power that. But let me ask y'all something, people. It's a way to power shit without this shit that they can tax us for. Why are we still using this shit? Why? I told y'all I ain't about to be nice no more. I told y'all I'm done being quiet. We sitting around here like our shit don't stink. And we deaf, dumb, blind, mute, and retarded. We are deaf, dumb, blind, mute, and fucking retarded. We think that salvation is going to come from some mythical man in the sky. Another problem of externalization. Well, I got company over here, you be, and they was actually gone when I started this, so they probably wondered what they walked into. So for right now, we're going to let this one ride. Plus, I mean, I told y'all my phone was not super charged. We're going to come back in later because I'm about to dive some more in this shit. We're going to get to busting this down. Matter of fact, hold on. Before I end this, let me find something for y'all. Let me find something for y'all. Because, see, I'm talking and y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all ain't hearing me. So let me show you. Let me show you this shit. Hold on, y'all. Alright, here we go. Let me show y'all this. See, maybe that's the problem, is people need to see it. They need it tangible for them. I told you, when you graduated high school, you got the cap with the mortarboard on the top, right? So, oh my goodness. Let me see if I can. Alright, I know I'm going to do this. Hold on. It's a pink thing over here. Let me see this. Let me see this. Let me see this. This? Let me see this. Hold on, people. So when you graduate high school, we about to make a generic cap and mortar board real quick. When you graduate high school, you put your cap on, you put your mortar board on your head. Now imagine that this is a square. You squared your circle, right? Square over the circle, right? People, wake the hell up! Let me show you the symbols of Masoneryism real quick. Let me show you the symbol of Masoneryism. Compass over the square. Compass over the square. You are circling your square. Hello. Hello, people. I'm knocking. Can you let me in?